Hi, this is Rock. We're going to talk about copying and pasting. So there's a lot to unpack here, and it's not as intuitive as you might think. So I'll try to point out some of the things that might be pitfalls. Here we go. The simplest aspect of copying and pasting, if I type copy this and I want to copy this and paste it over here, I can just hit Ctrl C, click over here, and hit Ctrl V, and it pastes it. So Control C, Control V. That's the way to go. If you want to cut and move something somewhere, you can use Control X and then click somewhere else and Control V and it'll move it. A couple of things about ways to do this a little differently. If I click on this and I just move it, I can do that, but I can also move it while holding Control and it will basically do a copy of it. All right, so that seems very simple, straightforward. Let's talk about how it gets a little more complex. I'm going to put in an array here. Let's make it a 15 by 20 array. Okay, I'm going to copy and paste these values because right now this is a formula, right? And if instead of having the formula, I want to have the values, I can hit Control C to copy and then Control Shift V to paste the values. Now this is no longer a formula, it's the actual values here. All right, now let's do something with this. I'm going to take this row and I'm going to give it a color because I want to illustrate something. If I take this and I copy it, I can paste over here in a few different ways. If I use Control V, it pastes like that, right? Let me undo that because if I paste instead Control Shift V, it pastes the values. Notice that it didn't change the color. So pasting the values does not paste the format. And I'm going to undo that just so we have our array back. Something you should know when you go to paste is that a very helpful aspect of pasting is by using the Paste Special Dialog Box. The way to open that is to use Alt-E-S, which is holding with your left thumb the Alt tab. You can hit the E and then S, and that will bring up the Paste Special Dialog Box. You can also get to the Paste Special Dialog Box under Home and Paste Special. Okay, that's a little bit longer of a way to do that. I use the Paste Special Dialog Box so much that I use that keyboard shortcut, Alt-E-S. All right. Now, let's look at what this is saying here. This is saying we can either paste the formula, which this is not a formula, it's just the number, so this doesn't really apply. If I do paste just the formula, it'll just paste 86, okay? I can paste the values, which it's already a value, so if it pastes it here, it'll paste 86 here with no formatting, as we saw before. I can paste just the format, which would leave this as 130, but with this light blue color. Let's try that. I can bring back up the Paste Special Dialog Box again by hitting Alt-E and S, and then we did the formats one. Comments and notes, if I had comments and notes in here, I could paste just that. I could paste just the data validation, and we talked about data validation in an earlier video. I could paste just that with this. I could paste using the source theme, could paste everything like the values and formatting with the exception of the border formatting, so that's useful. I could paste just the column width. I usually use the Format Painter for that kind of thing, but this is available here. I could paste the formulas and the number formats, so not other kinds of formatting. You can paste the values and the number formats. That's also useful. So let's try something here. If I grab this list of numbers and I copy them and I click down here, one thing I can do with the Paste Special Dialog Box is transpose. And if I click transpose when I paste, these numbers, instead of going top to bottom, go left to right. I can also combine a transpose with pasting just the values. Super handy. So another thing I want to point out is pasting links. Let me take these numbers and I'm going to copy them and then I'm going to paste them down here as a link. If I say Alt E and then I go to paste link, these are a formula that is a reference. So it's a link to these previous ones. So if I change this to A, B, C, you see how it's changing it down here as well. That's how you paste a link. And there we go. That's a basic introduction to copying and pasting. Next, we're going to navigate and select with arrows.